Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Okay. Nikki is a chartered psychologist, an energy healer, and intuitive, serving humanity's awakening. She works in private practice, helping people to transform old, outdated beliefs and programs on an energetic level, aligning with beliefs and vibration of the new earth. Nikki is author of the book Working with Chakras for Belief Change, the Healing Insight Method, and she teaches this to individuals and practitioners to assist in our global ascension process, as well as empowerment and awakening in liberation. And Nikki's going to be sharing with us, with her time today, the power of belief change. And Nikki, I'm going to turn the tables over to you, my love. Welcome wholeheartedly. I'm looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you so much. It's a real honour to be here. Thank you, Oiching, for inviting me in. I'm quite new to speaking. I have a lot that I wish to share, and I've been on quite a journey. So some of my talk today is about sharing that journey with you, and it relates very much in terms of what I am bringing through, what I'm sharing from my own personal experience and awakening, and I'm working through health issues too. So yeah, I am a chartered counselling psychologist, intuitive and energy healer. And as you've explained, so I work in private practice. So this is my work, this is my life really. And I'm very interested in the union of the mind, body and spirit, and how we can't separate those out. So my work, I guess, and the inspiration has come from that immersion in the deep inner work that really makes us who we are. And for me, it's all about clearing away the programs, clearing away the limitations and the beliefs that can keep us stuck or keep us attached to playing small, to staying safe. So yeah, I am the creator of the Healing Insight Method, and this is a belief change method that is a self-help method. So it was designed for people to be able to step into their own connection with self, their own kind of being space, and move beliefs through for themselves. Because for me, personal empowerment was a huge part of the healing journey from chronic health into health. So I'll give you a quick backstory. So when I was 19, I was diagnosed with lupus. It started a little before then. And I ran lupus, I ran these programs and everything that came with chronic illness for a good 15 years or more. So it wasn't until my 33rd year that I had this epiphany and I began my healing journey. So if we look at programs and the kinds of kind of beliefs and patterns that can show up with ill health, for me, this diagnosis that we get from the the medical profession and the white coat was that I have lupus, therefore I have incurable autoimmune disease. So I had systemic lupus erythematosus, which is an autoimmune condition whereby the immune system can attack joints, it can attack any kind of organs in the body. So I ran these programs, and this was what I believed to be true, that this was a condition that was incurable. Through this process of ill health and chronic ill health.
As he tried to ground it.
I ran programs such as I can't cope, I'm too weak, there's something wrong with me, I'm a burden, no one understands, I'm alone, and it's very easy to start listening to the body and start listening to the limitations, start buying into the limitations of the body when you're experiencing that in your everyday. So it wasn't until I just had my second child, who was also quite sick because I'd been on a large dose of steroids, that I had this epiphany, and I just had a moment. I'd reached my kind of all-time low. I got inflammation throughout my joints, my brain. I wasn't producing any DHEA, no growth hormone, very little cortisol, and I was just exhausted. I was completely exhausted, and I got 2 little babies, and I had a moment that if I didn't take this into my own hands, if I didn't take personal responsibility for my healing, that I wouldn't see them grow up. I just had this thought that I was never going to be able to ride a bike with them or go through life as I had anticipated it would be, unless I did something about it. So this was the first point whereby I stopped looking outward for something to heal me, for something or someone to have the answers, for there to be a drug, or for there to be something that would work for me and change my experience. And I started just immersing in a huge personal journey. I trained in EFT, in Psyche, theta healing, so lots of belief change methods, the lightning process. I'm really immersed in doing this inner work, and I think from that moment, the things that I took away from that were that we needed to, where there's discord in the body, where there is unrest, unease, contraction, I like to kind of refer to it as, or energy distortion, then there's usually a belief program, there's trapped emotion, there's a belief and a story that we are still subscribing to, that's maintaining and keeping that energy kind of stuck. So so I went through this huge inner journey, and it took 5 years, but I got to the point where I was able to say, I don't have lupus anymore, that I am healed, and I worked with the lovely belief to work with, I'm in perfect health. And so it was 5 years of deep inner work, but it was a huge shift, and my message really is that this is possible. And through immersing, through with clients, also through my work, but also through my own inner journey, I've really come to understand the power of addressing the mind, body, spirit, and the emotions, and unlocking those emotions, and looking at wherever those emotions are triggered, that there is usually a belief that's not aligned with our inner being, with our higher self, that we're subscribing to, where we're giving our power away to stories and programs. And we all know we're subject to so many stories and programs through the media at the moment. It comes through our education systems, it comes through media, it comes through our healthcare systems. So it's important, and I think when we connect with our inner being, when we connect with the authentic self, we can start to see through these programs and come to learn that we're not our programs, that we're not the emotions, we're not the patterns, we're not our history, we're not the identity that we've built up through the ego, which is really just a spacesuit through which we make sense of the world and build constructs, build identity. So when we can connect with that inner being and start to do that very deep inner work, we make space for more light, and step into that authentic self and start to see ourselves, less the programs, as these magnificent, extraordinary human beings that have descended into these human bodies in order to have this experience, in order to shift from my belief. We're here to shift these lower density consciousnesses that we all carry within us, and so doing that inner work it is a shift for humanity, it is a shift for the planet, it's a shift for the collective consciousness. So I'm very passionate about this inner work, and I want to say, in 2012 I had a profound spiritual experience where I was completely immersed for 3 hours. I was taken into the most beautiful divine energy that I would describe as the Holy Spirit, and I was in pure bliss, a pure blissful state for 3 hours. I was completely outside of space and time, so it did not feel like 3 hours. But when I came round, it was the most beautiful, extraordinary experience where I came to know without question that I was part of this divinity. I was part of divine consciousness and divine intelligence. And in that moment, I declared myself to be of service, and life has never been the same since. But I share this not because I was on a mountaintop or in a sacred site or in ceremony. I was in the bath. I was in the bath doing my inner work, feeling into the deepest pain in my heart. And it was through the piercing of my heart and the going into my inner pain and being with that and allowing myself to feel that and to look at what that was about, that I was pierced with this most beautiful divine light. And so I guess I want to say, for anyone that is struggling with health issues, not to be afraid of the pain, to allow yourselves to go into the body, and it's not about being attached to the pain, but it's about being with it in a loving consciousness where we allow ourselves to bring light, to bring awareness, and to notice that these are patterns, these are programs and pains that we must be with and honor, but we allow the release and we allow the healing to take place. So we need to move from programs of unworthiness to worthiness of being unlovable. If you can hear the rain in here, I'm in a cabin that's absolutely tipping it down now. These negative programs of we'll let Mother Nature wash them away, from disempowerment to empowerment, and feeling controlled at the moment. There's so much control, so feeling controlled and feeling trapped. We have to go in to feel where have I felt that personally in my own life, and we can shift these beliefs. We can move into liberation. We can move into being in charge of our own lives, move into being magnificent creator beings of our own reality. And this is my work, and this is what I have allowed to birth through me, through my own experience and through the method that's come through in the book. And there's a card deck that came through with lots of beautiful affirmations. So we're moving from a paradigm that's driven by fear into a paradigm that is held in love. And it's more often than not, when someone's coming for a shift, it's just about working through the resistance and allowing that shift, allowing ourselves to feel into the resistance and get the riches, because the resistance is just programs. It's all about programs largely to keep us safe. So moving from unsafety to safety. So when we do this, all is possible, and it's I've seen many people's lives transform. So I'm not sure how we're doing for time, but if I could just share about the method and the how in terms of the Healing Insight method. So what it does, it uses Qigong, so it uses these ancient spiritual practices. So I also trained as a Reiki teacher and a Qigong teacher, so I've immersed quite a lot in surrendering. Qigong really taught me how to surrender, how to let go, and I think we need to teach our bodies that. We need to allow ourselves to come into the emptiness and that beautiful connection that this Wu Chi, the standing posture, gives you from being connected to the earth, being in the body in an observer, witnessing type space with that heart open and connected to the heavens and the cosmos. And then from this place within the Healing Insight method, we bring this infinity harmonizing movement in. So we go from the zero into the movement, into the energy of creation, and this infinity harmonizing movement allows balance and harmony to start to bring movement in. And we're focusing on an intention. So that intention may be to come into alignment with the belief that I am worthy of unconditional love. And so we focus on that, and there's a process through focusing where we activate both hemispheres of the brain. So we know through energy, psychology, and the new science that when the corpus callosum is activated and both hemispheres of the brain are activated, that we start to move from polarity, duality, and we can reprogram, or we can deconstruct the old and come into alignment with the new. So the method walks you through a process of activating the hemispheres, and what happens is that the resistance starts to come up, and you start to feel that in your body, and just allow the resistance, because we have the intention, we've got the attention on where we're heading, And we just allow the resistance, and we allow the old programs to release, because that's all they are. It's old programs that we've programmed into the subconscious mind, and they do run the show. They do run our choices, our decisions, the way in which we perceive reality. And so when we change these programs, we also change our perception, and we change our experiences, we change our reality. So so we get this whole body resonance, and bring in a visualization process. And that visualization is also a big part of embodying and working in the quantum field to bring this energy through, and to start to see yourself with this new belief, start to see yourself as being worthy of unconditional love, as being, we are love. We are unconditional love at our core. It's just the programs that tell us that we're not. So when we release these programs, we can come into that resonance, and it helps us to connect with the inner being and with ourselves as these magnificent creative beings. So that beautiful state of coherence is it's just so empowering. And this is pure manifestation, when there's a second kind of element to the method, whereby we bring into alignment the intelligence of the head and the heart and the gut, and bring communication to these intelligence centers. And when we have that whole body coherence with unconditional love, this is how I got a publisher within about a month, aligning with the belief, and it just was bam, 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 bam. And it's just then saying, yes, this is me being here today as well. It's just about saying yes, because the doors of possibility open, and all we have to do is get out of our own way and belief change that I can't, or I'm not capable, or I'm not confident enough, or no one will listen to me, or we clear that stuff, and then we just have to move through and step into that possibility. So yeah, it's all possible. Letting go of the old, and I think that's it. Just it's remembering ourselves, and that this is a collective journey that we're going through as we come into being the divine human in this process of ascension. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Please join me in thanking Nikki. That's just extraordinary. I love and honor your journey.
Thank you.
And I'm super proud of you for speaking up about it. I know I can feel you. We were all just sending you so much love, and you are an extraordinary woman and a true gift. Thank you so much, Nikki.
Thank you. It's I would never let myself be heard at all. So starting to public speak and starting to share, and this is such a gift for people. So I really do want to bring it to the world and bring it to people, because we can each shift for ourselves. But yeah, it's not been an easy journey, kind of being seen, being heard, allowing myself, and but it's testimony to the method that we do it anyway, and we do it authentically, and be who we are. And yeah, thank you.